Our main goal right now is to be able to construct a prototype house by the end of summer 2024. So that's our main goal, to be able to build one house to show the community the knowledge in order to create the snowball effect.
Hi, I'm Asia. I'm a PhD student at the University of Ferrara studying co-ops and circular economy, and I'm coordinating the Climate Circular Co-op project and interviews. I'm very pleased to be with Yara. She's the Vice President and Communication and Events Coordinator at the Coop Kaza. Do you want to tell us the history and the aim of this co-op?
So we're 5 students in architecture. We just finished our bachelor's degree in architecture at the University of Montreal. Our co-op started after a workshop that was led by Yara Keyrouz. She's a person that was working with a community that used to live in Kenya for a very long time. So the community currently lives in a slum, in one of the biggest slums in Africa, which is located in Nairobi. So the slum is Kibera. And they actually formed a cooperative themselves in the slum in order to save funds, in order to buy a land and relocalize and build their own houses. So the reason for that is that they live in very precarious conditions in the slum. So they don't have access to potable water, to toilets. So their aim and their ultimate dream is to have a home. So the purpose of the workshop that was led by Georgia was mainly to design a house for the community that is low cost, incremental, that can be developed depending on the needs and the financial abilities of the community, and that is self-sufficient. So by reusing all the water resources, water harvesting, black water, gray water, reuse, etc. And that is also self-built. So the aim of the project is that the community would be eventually able to build their own houses in order to save money and then be able to develop and their houses depending of their needs. So that's mainly the aim of the project. So it's a participative project. So we currently have weekly meetings with the community so that we can see what are their actual needs to build the houses.
What is your aim specifically from here? So you're 5 architects.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting also the idea of professionals yourself, young ones too, engaging in that kind of knowledge sharing,
right,
with a community far away from you,
right,
with a different need. So what does your specific aim entail?
Right. So since it was an academic project, as all academic projects, they end by the end of the semester. Okay. So us students, we felt this frustration that we couldn't continue the project with the community. So that's the main reason why we created the co-op, to be able to continue the project beyond academic barriers. So that's mainly how we decided to create this co-op. So our main goal right now is to be able to construct a prototype house by the end of summer 2024. So that's our main goal, to be able to build one house to show the community the knowledge and the designs that we currently started with them, and to be able to actually build the house in order to create the snowball effect. So what is the snowball effect? It's the idea of once a house is built, the rest of the community can see how the house was built. They gain knowledge from the construction in general, and then they can replicate it eventually for each family. Mm-hmm. So that's our main goal, to be able to build the prototype by summer 2024.
So the co-op in Kenya, their members are the same citizens who need the house.
Exactly.
In your case, this is all volunteering work. That's something we talked about before, the idea that your co-op, the members are both workers as well as just interested parties in supporting your project, but the idea is that the main people involved are doing this voluntarily, so that's very nice. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this distribution of also work?
Right. So yeah, mainly we were 5 students that started the project. So we're the co-founders of the co-op, and then we started recruiting more people that were actually interested in the project. So now we're a total of 20 people, 20 members of the co-op, and that are currently working here in Montreal. So we're working on the budget of the house, on the design of the house, on the marketing of the house, of the project in general. Mm-hmm. And we're working with the cooperative that's called Kaza Mwendo Cooperative in Kenya. So that's the cooperative that we're working with. and with some architecture students in Kenya as well. So it's more of an international collaboration that we're having right now. And our aim is to eventually help them continue building other houses other than the prototype itself. But that's like our more ambitious goal. For now, we're just focusing on one prototype in order to be able to build more.
So sometimes when you speak with co-ops, you talk about the challenges, we talk about the drivers though. So in this case, we do understand the drivers, like it's a lot of motivation to want to do some good.
Right.
But maybe you can tell us about specific challenges that also come with not only the age of the co-op, so you told me that it's been founded in February, so it's quite brand new, but also the age of the students. I mean, you're all students,
right.
You're all very young. It's very nice to see such good motivation, but what are the challenges, aside from just the general bureaucratical issues with that, but what more were you surprised also by this experience?
Right, so as you just mentioned, we're students, so we had like the academic needs and preoccupations that we had as students, and we were founding the co-op in parallel, so it was a bit working full-time on two things, so that was a bit of a challenge in the beginning. But I would say like the main challenge right now, since it's a new co-op that has been founded in February, is to build credibility, because we're doing all of this as a volunteering work, so we're not being remunerated in any way, so it's mostly for the community, where all the money that is being collected by fundraisers, competitions that we're entering, etc., is going for the construction of the prototype house for the community, so we're not really doing it for ourselves. So I would say it's really the start of launching this cooperative to being known in Montreal, in Quebec, and on the international scale. So it's creating this base that could help us collect the funds necessary in order to reach our goal. So I would say that's mainly the biggest, hardest thing to do, and then the work of the design is being done also in parallel. So.
And for the next question, I have more of a double one. So we may understand why you chose to be a co-op. I think it fits well with the idea of the housing co-op in Canada. I think it might fit, but was it so obvious at the beginning of a co-op? And then why such young people decided to found a co-op?
Right. So at the beginning, we were kind of wondering what would be the best way to create like a group of people like this. What should we be? An association, a co-op, anything else? But then we started making our research, and then we found out that a co-op is very member centric. So we all have a common goal, and we all work towards this common goal. It's less about stakeholders, shareholders. It's more about our common goal and to be able to help the community in Kenya.
And was it so obvious, like even in the management of like when you started actually having these meetings? Was it, sometimes you come from a professional background, like you come from as architects to see such a project, but management of we can call it a business or an institution is not always so easy. So how did you tackle that?
Right, so we had a lot of meetings in order to have to see the functioning of the co-op, but it sort of was intuitive. So we formed our committees. So we have the finance committee, we have the events committee, we have the production committee. So everything just was put together effortlessly. So the functioning was actually pretty straightforward. We started working on different aspects of the project directly. So there was work that was being done, but it wasn't that complicated to achieve the structure of the co-op in the end. So
I'd be interested to know how you then received the feedback from other stakeholders in the community, maybe here, like other bigger co-ops, or because you would imagine that you'd receive a lot of support. That's great. But that maybe it's not always so obvious. To receive the other co-ops telling you thumbs up, that kind of way. But was it that the case, or did you receive some unexpected feedback from the rest of the community?
For now, honestly, all the feedback that we've been having is very positive. So everyone encourages us, since it's a project that's being led by students. So it's a very young co-op. It's it's new ideas that are coming. It's a big project that we're aiming. So it's big ambitions as well. So for now, all the feedback that we're having has been positive, and from the community as well. So they're very excited for the project. We're receiving support from Kenya as well. So we're always we're always keeping each other posted. So for now, the feedback has been great, but we wish to reach out to more people eventually. So that's the main thing on what we're working on is to reach out to more co-ops, to more associations, architecture firms that can support us to have more credibility. So that's our main goal, to reach out, to expand, exactly.
So part of the discussion that comes with the cooperative model has to do, as you may imagine, with profit.
Right.
You know, should co-op be profit or non-profit oriented? Like in the case of Canada, you can have both scenarios, but that's not the case in all countries. Some co-ops, depending on the country where they're registered, they may have to be, you know, not profit oriented, but they cannot be considered as an NGO, for instance. So what is your personal impression of, now that you actually are part of a co-op, into that narrative of, you know, do you see Coop Kaza, you know, becoming getting money to keep surviving and potentially even paying salaries, like for yourself and your colleagues involved? Like, do you see that being something built, and what would you tell, you know, other private businesses who could be doing some good things like you are, but choose simply not to?
Yeah. So for now, we discussed, my colleagues and I, that salaries weren't our priority. So we're doing everything voluntarily for the community again. But for now, since our project is to build a house by the end of the summer, so we're relying a lot on money. So we're organizing a lot of fundraisers. We're participating in a lot of contests in order to start saving money to be able to buy the materials needed and everything to build the house. But for now, as students, we think that the aim is more to be able to realize our first goal before thinking of salaries. But in the future, eventually, if our co-op grows even more and we start to reach our aim of building more and helping more communities, why not?
You talk about fundraisers, you're talking about campaigns, and there is a deadline and aim. Do you want to tell us about that, since this might be an opportunity to get it out there?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we founded our co-op in February 2023. So now we're at the beginning of raising funds to be able to reach our goal. So we organized our first fundraiser, which is on La Ruche platform, which is a Quebec platform. And where our first aim is to be able to reach $8,000. So we have until the 20th of June to collect the entirety of the $8,000, or else we don't collect anything. So that's our first fundraiser. It's our first step. So these funds would be mainly for the construction materials. So 70%, 75% of the money that's going to be collected is going to go for the construction materials. And the rest would be for the functioning of the co-op, for the research that we have to do with the community, with any extra functioning stuff going on in the co-op. So that's our first step. And then we're planning on having other fundraisers.
And how could other people help you? Like, maybe you have some other architects who might be interested in collaborating, or other people who just want to make an open donation that goes beyond the 8,000. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is possible. So on the platform, you can donate as much as you want. We can surpass these $8,000. We're looking for sponsors as well. So we have contacted a lot of architecture firms that may be interested in our cause and want to support us, since it's a student project, and we have been receiving answers. So we have our sponsors as well that have been supporting us as well with the funding.
Do you have any words that you want to share to young people out there who do want to do good and maybe lack a little bit of the great motivation that you and your colleagues have?
Yeah. So I would say it was a bit scary at first to start this huge project. We were just sitting here and we were very eager to start like this big project that could have really great impact on a certain community in Kenya. So it was a bit scary. We're collecting a big amount of funds in order to do a big project. We just finished our bachelor's degree, so it's really something very big that we're embarking in, but we're very excited to do so. And what I would say is really
go for it.
You can go for it.
Go for it. And of course, I'm going to share a lot of the Yara's contact and about Coop Kaza down in the description as well, and the links, so you're free to contact them personally yourself and get involved. So Yara, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure hearing your story and one of your colleagues for such a good mission. more interviews are on the Climate Circular Co-op website, and you're free to check out both our LinkedIn network, where you can also get involved with Yara. So thank you very much.
Thank you.